So now, time for the Divine Feminine read. I'm going to just let you know, if you've read the Divine Masculine Energy read, I have sealed the space already, so I'm not going to do it again. But we're very, very clear right now. There's lots of orbs flying around, so such as spiritual activities. Notice if you do see the orbs flying around at a particular part of when I talk, this is very much just confirmation, just the messages coming through, and this is the spirit coming through. And I work with your souls, so I basically call in what messages that you guys need to hear, right, from your souls. So divine feminine energy, this is a very exciting spread, I have to say. And if this resonates with you right now, this is spirit just confirming this is where you're at in the journey. And the two collectives that I've done, it may not even be the same collective. This was just what was important to come out on this channel, and that I trust whoever finds these messages, well, it's going to resonate, right? That's why we do these things. If it doesn't resonate within, the first, I don't know, 5 minutes, then maybe it's not resonating for you. And please don't try and shoehorn these readings into your life either. And also, I've spoken to a few people about, they've been told that they're this kind of energy, and it's like, you will know, you will go through different stages through your growth and your soul growth to know what your core is. You will know. Don't let anyone else dictate to you that you're a divine masculine just because you're a strong woman. No, it doesn't work like that. This is the patriarchal mindset. If you're a strong woman, it's quite possible that your core is actually a divine feminine, and that you are here to bring back and find that balance from that wounded feminine that thinks that you cannot be a strong feminine energy in a man's world, right? This is why we're doing this, is to recognize these broken systems, the matriarchal, the patriarchal line. No, they don't exist anymore. They never were supposed to. Take back when the Mayans and the very, very first indigenous high vibrational frequencies, you can't have the sun without the moon. You can't have the masculine energy without the feminine energy. But yes, you will sit in a core energy. But that core, you will identify with yourself, and ultimately it doesn't matter. It doesn't. It's about the balance of both of those energies to actually stand strong in who you are, speak your truth, and know who you are. You see, how can we ever step into our purpose? If we don't know ourselves, how do we know that we're losing ourselves? I think that's really, really key. We talk about losing ourselves. We talk about getting lost in relationships. Well, maybe we get lost because we don't know who we are. And maybe the journey of separation from those relationships and those people in our lives is for us to recognize the moment that we go back into those kind of relationships quickly. No. I know who I am so well right now. I know my triggers. I know my energy. I know what I deserve. So maybe when we have this time out to really tune into who we are, enables us to quickly recognize those things that are not aligning with us. And maybe that's how we can see those relationships that come into our lives as soul contracts, as one of the biggest lessons, the most incredible lessons, the most gratitude that we could ever have for that person, no matter what they've done. They haven't done it to us. No, it's just a lesson for spirit to say, are you ready? Are you ready? Do you really know yourself? Do you have to do more work? And you know what? Every chapter you'll be doing this work, because every chapter you become stronger and you become a new skin. And every time you shed that skin, you have to have that time of introspection to learn who this new skin is. And I think that's really, really important. If you feel like you're going through these death and rebirth moments, sorry, this is just a channel that's coming in now. If you feel like you are going through these death and rebirth moments to try and sort of find out who you are at the core, it's really important to take that time, really important to shed those layers, really important to find out who you are in this new skin, right? And recognize, is this me as an old version of myself, or is this me as my new skin? And if it is an old version of myself, why am I bringing it into my new skin? If this is an old thought process, where does it sit in the new version of myself? And if I'm continuing to go back to this thought process, is this spirit just guiding me to go in there and finally heal and integrate this shadow into my current skin? And I'm talking about skins because we talk about shedding layers, and I think it's really, really poignant. So yeah, anyway, without further ado, I'm going to get onto the divine feminine read. And that little channel there was me being in my divine feminine space. Anyway, we're starting out with the wheel. I love this card. Look at her. She's standing there balancing on the wheel. I mean, how hard is it to balance on a wheel, right? But she is in complete faith. She's balanced with her shadow. She's balanced with her light. You know, she has got this under control, and she knows that every now and again she may tip the balance, but it doesn't matter. She can get it back. This is like confirmation that the hard work you've been doing in this hamster wheel that you've been trying to do. And imagine if you're in this hamster wheel, right, of life, and then, like, let's say that something happens and you hurt yourself, so you can't run so fast any longer. Like, part of the healing process is to see how quickly you can get back on that wheel. And do you stay internally in the wheel, or do you get back on this wheel? You know, like, do you stay in the same repetitive cycles even though you're a different person? You stay stuck in those cycles and you handle them because you're a different person in a different way? Or do you embrace them and go, you know what? I'm out of the rat race now. I'm going to stand on top of the rat race now, and I'm going to just stand in my power. Like, this is a real power card of confirmation of manifestations coming forward, because you are finance that literally was coming out there when I was talking about manifestations. So this is just about balance. This is purely about you balancing your energies is going to bring the most incredible completions of cycles and everything else, recognizing, licking your wounds, healing from them, and stepping into the new cycle, I guess you could say. Seven of Pentacles, confirmation, whatever you've been seeding is growing, and it is growing, and it is slowly growing, and everything takes time that's worthwhile, right? You know, we say stuff isn't easy. Well, that's right. We can choose to say it's not easy, or we can choose to say, I'm grateful, actually, it's not easy, because if it's easy, do I want it? If it's easy, then is it going to be sustainable? You know, there's a part in our healing journey where things do come easily to us because we've shed those layers that feel anything negative around it, you know, and if it comes quickly, it's not necessarily come easy. Never underestimate the power of what you've been doing in the healing space. That's why I say that even if your manifestations come super quickly, it's not easy. It's not. But this is confirmation that those seeds that you've planted, are growing, and they will grow. But for things to grow, you have to continue to nurture them, not overlove them, but continue to nurture them, right? And it's interesting because the next one came out was the Eight of Cups, and I really love this. It's about walking away. It's about finally walking away from those things that are draining our energy. It's about speaking our truth and standing up for ourselves and what we want in life, and just being in a little bit more trust of the universe, knowing that, you know, that Eight of Cups, eight is the abundance, and this is about maybe you've been forcing what you think abundance looks like, and this is about, like, you know what, I'm exhausted with this. I'm exhausted with trying to be a square peg in a round hole. I want to be a square peg in a square hole, and I'm walking away from everything that tries to force me into something that I don't fit anymore. Confirmation, Ace of Pentacles, you know, this just goes so beautifully in line with this card. These seeds are growing, and then boom, this is about picking them. This is about the roots that are so well rooted and sustainable now, because you are and have been walking away and being in more trust and speaking your truth and going into your heart center. The Lover's card, this is a beautiful sign for those of you who have been manifesting a relationship, you know. Again, confirmation with the wheel, and another exciting card here. This is very much either about loving yourself, and, you know, I'll always say this, continue to love yourself. The biggest self-love for me is walking away from things that no longer serve and recognizing what they are, and stop forcing things like that. I feel like that's the biggest self-love we can ever give ourselves. Is sometimes we get so exhausted, and that's the old pattern, is that we're trying to chase and chase and chase, rather than realizing, you know what, I'm just going to love myself now, and what is meant for me will never pass me by. So yes, this could signify a new relationship coming in, or it could just signify spirit saying continue to love yourself, because this is what you need to recognize. If you stop loving yourself, then you start to lose yourself. And Going back on that whole thing of when we recognize what it is to lose ourselves is because we stopped loving on ourselves. And for us to be the most incredible divine love, we have to know it within ourselves first. Become the person that you want to attract into your life. And it's just natural that's going to happen. Become this auric field of love, and you are going to attract love into your life. You just have to let go of what that looks like. If it's a person, then congratulations, you are manifesting in an incredible soulmate at this stage in your journey. But if this is just spirit saying, just hold on a little longer, learn to love yourself more, learn to be more grounded in your power, And it's really interesting as we're talking about self-love and everything else, walking away from things that no longer serve us. And then we have the Tower. And I love the fact that the Tower was followed by the Seven of Wands. This is spirit saying, let everything crumble around you. If you no longer vibrate with people in your life, let it fall away. If you no longer want to be around the city life, let it fall away. If you are recognizing that energetically you don't feel safe around certain situations, then let the things that are not letting you feel safe to be exactly who you are, let it fall away. Find this inner balance, this inner peace. Take action on finding it. And the action in this particular guidance is let it fall away. Stop holding on to stuff. Love yourself so much that you let this fall away. It doesn't serve you anymore. This mindset of being stuck, of knowing that these pentacles are behind this door and all you got to do is get up and pick up that key and then have the energy to turn it. This is the mindset I feel like is falling with the Tower. Love yourself so much to realize you deserve this incredible life behind this door. Let it all fall away. Go into your nesting. Go into the introspection. Love yourself. Love yourself. Feel the heartbreak of what it is to let that side of you go, and also everything that's attached to it. It's not just about shedding that skin and that version of yourself. It's shedding everything that's attached to it. Go through your WhatsApp right now or your social media and delete everything that is not bringing you the abundance you would, look for, the energy that you would look for. Energy is everything. So if you want to stop drinking, for instance, or stop having toxic lifestyles, why are you still liking posts when you see, women pour huge glasses of wines to deal with their day and their kids? That's the energy you're bringing to that post. No, you're not supporting another woman in that sense. You're actually bringing that energy back into your life, that you're supporting that life, that woman needs to drink a full glass of wine just to get through a day. It's not about liking that and supporting it. It's about going, you know what? I really pray that you find the life that you don't have to have that toxic behavior. I really pray that you walk away from everything and stand up and say, enough, I'm tired. Bring that energy to the post, not a like. Everything is energy, so be really mindful with what you have. Like if there's people who are from your past in your WhatsApp groups, delete them. If they're supposed to be back in your life. Sorry, I just had a Facebook alert as that came through, and that's interesting because last night I went to bed and I was like, I'm deleting Facebook because it's too attached to my past. And interestingly, on the social media note, we all talk about having towers and about moving from our past, yet we have these platforms that keep that with us. It watches us. And that energy, if they've not healed any animosity, we're in this forgiving space. We're like, hey, yeah, I'll let you back on my page, or I'll let this friend back in, or I'll let this friend back in. But remember, everything is energy. You don't know whether they've healed from your connection. I'm just saying this is about going inwards, and it is about going in and saying, what do I want to bring into this new chapter? Taking actions and fast actions. Once you start doing this cleanse, and I mean cleanse of body, cleanse of soul, cleanse of mind, cleanse of heart, cleanse of friends, once you start healing from this heartbreak of what it is to shed these layers and basically remove these people from your life. Like, even exes, why are they in your life? Okay, they may be your best friend, that's different. But if there's someone that you just check in on every now and again, do you need to do it in the physical way? If you're connected at a cord level, do you need to have their energy on your phone or their photos? Like, this sort of thing really interests me with how people's mindset is that I remember when every time I start a new chapter, if anyone has come back into my life, I just delete them again. And some do and some don't. And the ones that don't, and I'm like, that's cool, no problems, you know. And that's part of the growth around detachment, is that some people will come back into your life to challenge you as well. And it's like spirit just saying, you know, this person is still not emotionally available, and yet you're talking about removing everyone who's emotionally available out of your life, yet here you are still trying to open them up. Like, no, they're on their own journey. Sometimes spirit is saying, have you learned your lessons of being the wounded healer? And I think I'm talking to some people in particular right now. And it's something I practice regularly. I sit and I go through my phone, and I'm like, if I'm feeling a little bit like, ooh, who's bringing me that energy that I feel like just not right, you know? And I go through and I just go through and go, well, why are they still in my phone? Why are they still in my phone? I haven't spoken to them in over a year. Why are they still in my phone? I constantly do these audits. I constantly trust that if anyone comes back into my life, it's either because I've not learned a lesson, or it's because genuinely they're vibrating at a frequency that we're actually going to communicate now. And sometimes that's not all the time. Sometimes they only come back in for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. And then you do the same thing again. And it's like this, I'm going to keep growing. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to let you hinder me. I'm not going to let your energy be attached to me. Mobile phones hold energy. Everything holds energy. This holds energy, you know? And that's why I say it's really, really important when we talk about everything is energy. Everything is energy. If you laugh at a joke that is not in line with a higher vibration of yourself, this is the energy you're bringing back to yourself. You know, I'm very mindful now about if someone tells a joke about a minority or anything else, and then I'm like, hey, you know, that's not appropriate. And I used to be the one that laughed just to try and fit in, or tell the jokes myself, because I grew up in quite a racist household, I'm not going to lie. It just is what it is. But now I'm like, no, that's not okay. That's not okay, and that's not how we change this world. Comedians are on stage doing what they do, and that's how they deal with things, and people will deal with humor. But if something doesn't feel right to you, then speak up and say that's not okay. And I would really appreciate it if we don't bring this back into our relationship. I would really appreciate it if we don't talk about this again, because I'm putting my boundaries in place. I don't want to bring my energy to this. My energy is really powerful and valuable, and I don't want to bring this into this particular situation. So stand up for your truth. And Spirit is saying, the quicker we take action on this stuff, the quicker things are going to shift in your life. And this is just confirmation. Like, what an incredible, incredible spread. Ends up with this. No matter what you decide right now, no matter what you do, the world, the completion, the manifestations, congratulations. You taking action has brought this to yourself. And you may be faced with so many different options right now. But the universe, spirit is just telling you, they're all there for you. But you have to decide what's important to you. It's true. We can have anything we want. We can. But we have to decide where we're at right now in our life. Maybe you want a business. Maybe you've already put that out there. Maybe you know it's already done. Maybe you're aligning with those people. Maybe you've let go of what that looks like. But maybe there's a step that you're missing and you're trying to force to this end goal. Remember, it's not about the destination. It's about the journey. When we're forcing to reach that end goal, we are missing out on the growth. We're missing out on the people who could potentially give us a different path to get to where we want to go. And it's even more incredible. And it could be a path that literally propels us to our end goal. But if we are not accepting this part of taking action to do the things where we have to do to heal, to realize that we let go of control, you know, the feminine energy is very much about surrender. And I feel like, again, this is very significant to someone who is going to end up watching this video. Maybe there's been elements in the last few months, maybe a couple of years, where you've surrendered and things have gone so beautifully. But maybe right now there is someone in your life, and this is really interesting, talking about the tower and loving yourself and all the rest of it. Maybe there's someone in your life right now who is trying to pull you back into a broken paradigm. Maybe someone is telling you that you need to settle down. Maybe someone is so worried that you're not settling down and that you have just left your job and that you're having a midlife crisis. Maybe someone has actually said those words to you. I feel like you're having a midlife crisis. It's okay. We'll give you a couple of months. And then 2 years later, you're still having your midlife crisis in their eyes. This is their version of you. They can't see you in another version. That's their problem, not yours. I'm literally getting like all these like visions, like the crazy things are just going on around me right now. And I know this is relevant to me as well. You see, people will try and pull us back into the version that they're comfortable with. It freaks them out when you're like, I'm in flow, I'm in trust. Because so many things have happened over the timelines where faith has changed its meaning. And when you bring that faith back to you, that's the only meaning it needs to be. And people who have this broken version of faith because they've stopped believing in it will never understand why you do. They won't. And maybe they're not supposed to in this lifetime. And I'll say this, they may do. Maybe you staying in your power of faith and a new version of faith and a new version of what you can bring to your life and your family. Maybe that's what will allow certain parts of them to start believing again. But that's not your journey. Do you know what I mean? That's theirs. My point is that the energy right now, with the way it's splitting, those of us who are strong and secure in this journey and connecting at another level, please try not to expect others to understand. Try not to give energy to even trying to force them to understand, because maybe they're just not supposed to. And that's okay. You know, I recently reached out to my parents, and straight away they were like, well, you're just going to have to accept, and you know, that nothing is working for you, so you have to get a proper job. I'm like, well, I don't drink alcohol anymore. I don't want to be around waitressing. I don't have a degree. All of these things started to come up. And I was like, you know what? I don't need to justify any of that. I'm just going to say I have a job. I'm a tarot reader. I'm a healer. It may not be a job in your eyes, and I may not be earning thousands of dollars right now, but I'm happy. And if you can't accept that, then let's just keep our communication away from what is going on in my life. It takes balls to say shit like that to your parents. And let me tell you, it's taken me 2 years to really stand in my power and say, I have a job. And if I come back to your place to stay, I'm going to be reading. I'm going to be doing tarot reading. I'm going to be meditating. I'm going to be doing this stuff. I'm going to be doing healing sessions. And you're going to be probably hearing them. And so if you're not comfortable with that, I'm not going to be able to come and stay at your place. And that's okay. So yeah, I feel like this is a direct message, and I am grateful that, you know, I could tell you that story, actually, because if that gives anyone who's watching this the strength to stand in their power, then it's time. It really is. But we have to remember what it is. We have to remember and accept that when this card comes out, either you're going through a tower right now, let it go, or you're about to. And let me tell you, towers are beautiful. When you come out the other side, when you see this, because you've taken action, and that you know no matter what you choose is exactly where you're supposed to be. For this, the ancestry, the ancestors guiding you, knowing full well that your manifestations are coming to fruition, cycles are completing, walking away from everything that no longer serves us, picking up that key, loving, loving, loving love, finding that inner peace, going inwards and knowing that you're okay to say, I need the space to do so. To finish on this card, guys, it's just incredible. So on that note, I really hope you enjoyed this reading, and I just finished at 2555. So 2, as you know, is the number of purpose. It's also Hathor, and Hathor's been very, very strong with me. In fact, if you've watched the Divine Masculine Energy, you would see I called her in. But 555 is Mary Magdalene. I've also been working with Mary Magdalene, and it symbolizes change. This is just confirmation that your purpose is coming closer and closer to you. And you know what, guys? We can get so caught up on our purpose. We really can, based on the labels that we put on ourselves. But sometimes our purpose, and this is amazing, right, to all of you indigos out there, sometimes our purpose is just to find our path to our best life, to be happy, to find that truth and find that faith again. Sometimes our purpose is to just push away everything that stops us from believing an incredible life exists for us. Sometimes our purpose is to heal so we can bring back that part of our family as powerful bloodlines. If your bloodline still walks to this day, after everything that's happened across the world, if your bloodline still exists, it's here for a reason. Don't ever forget that. So much love to you. Have an incredible day. It's a bit miserly here in the fjords, but I'm so grateful to be in this incredible place. Like, I don't know about you, but if you feel so protected around mountains, there's a good chance that that is your soul showing you where you should go to open up even more. Some people feel protected in the forest. For me, it's around mountains and lakes, and I don't know, it's just, you feel like you're just protected. And you know, the energy of nature will definitely show us where our soul resonates the most. I'm not a beach person, but I'm definitely a mountains and lakes person. And I've met people along my way that have been beach people, and they don't really understand the mountains and lakes energy. And then I've met people who have been my soul family, who have been mountains and lakes, and I'm like, yeah, man, we came from the same planet. And it's really cool when you identify in nature where you feel safe. It allows you to open up even more, because it's like your heart, nature connects. And it's just the most beautiful feeling. So even in the rain, you know, people talk about how beautiful the sun is, and yes, it is. It uses the sun, the energy to clean everything in you. But the rain is just it's just the most incredible cleanse you could ever imagine. So get out and dance naked in the rain, or if you're not confident enough to do it naked, then get out and put your bikini on or your shorts on and go and dance naked in the rain. Because when you do, oh my goodness, the cleansing that you receive. And make sure, because of all the toxicity we have in the world, you know, make sure the intention that you put into that cleanse is just pure. You know, God all around me, all that's within, I absolutely am so grateful for these incredible, beautiful, pure raindrops that are hitting my skin and cleansing and clarifying everything within. It's the intention of what we do as an energy. If we think we're going out there and we're going to be hit with acid, then of course that's what's going to happen. But if you go out there and believe that every single droplet of rain is clean before it hits your skin, because that's what God wants, then that's what's going to happen. So yeah, signing off now. Love ya.